Well, I'm certainly proud of our effort. We had a long week, a lot of games, and I thought that we came out. I thought our defense was really good. We started both halves fast, which I thought was kind of important in the result of the game because JMU is such a young team. So it kind of stripped them of the opportunity to gain any confidence. Thought we were a little bit sloppy on offense, and the game was a little bit choppy. Some things that we can work on, but I thought our defense was really good. When they did get open shots, they didn't convert any. But I thought for the most part we made it really difficult in the half court for them to score.
Chris, you talk about the developmental step by Terry and Alonzo in this game, really offensively more than anything.
Yeah, you know what, John, those guys are really good players, and if you look at it, 10-7 and 10-6, and I don't even think they played really well, and I think that's a really good sign. Terry is going to be a guy who's just such a difficult matchup problem. Both of his drives in the first half from the top of the key were strong and fluid, and Alonzo is going to be a great player who impacts every phase of the game. So happy to have those guys for all this time that they have remaining.
Were you aware while the game's going on that you didn't let up a three-point field goal?
Well, I had seen it at halftime, and then a couple times late in the second half when they had some open shots. I thought, well, that's going to go in because they haven't made any. So I'm sure it's frustrating for their team and for their coaches because they did get some open ones and some bounce around and go out, and I'm sure that's frustrating. Again, it's a young team, so those swings of confidence are difficult to overcome.
Coach, is it important at the beginning of the season to string a bunch of wins together like this as everyone kind of settles in and gets used to everything?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's probably important at any time, but no, I think it's good to kind of control your home court. We had a really good road win the other night. Come back from a long distance and to play again tonight, where we played well, and we played with energy. I think throughout the game, but really at the right times, and we were able to kind of dictate the game. And as I said, I think with a young team, it's difficult to gain confidence, and they weren't able to kind of get anything going. So this is as they all are, this is a good win for us.
How important was it to kind of keep the momentum of how you guys played up in Connecticut and also in Air Force and come away, the way you guys were able to take it to JMU?
Yeah, it's very important because we don't want to. We want to build on things. You don't want to have. You want to be a kind of a consistent team, and and continue to go on a good path rather than be up and down or react to how the other team's playing or what the crowd's like or what day it is. So we want to be as consistent as we possibly can. We shot the ball a little bit better today for the second straight game, so that's a good sign for us. So we have work to do, no question. But we're excited for the win.
How happy were you with the defense, or did you just look at that and say, these poor guys can't hit anything, and we're not even playing that well?
No, I thought our defense was good. I thought, a couple of key plays when Derek turned the ball over in the first half and he had that huge block, that's really a big play. Again, because we make a bad play and don't hang our heads and come back and turn it into a really positive play, an exciting play. In the second half, Derek had a turnover and came back, and we got a steal on the play. So I thought our defense was really good. JMU really shot poorly, as I said, with even some of the open shots they had. But I thought our defense was good.
Is it more so how they played the passing lanes, how they kind of, defended the paint more so than the blocks itself?
Yeah, exactly. I thought we had some guys. They had some guys that we thought we could try to disrupt on the perimeter. And I thought we did a good job of that, especially as the game wore on. And then I think we made it really difficult for them to have fluid possessions. I can't remember one time where they just kind of came down, ran their stuff, and got a good shot. For the most part, we made it difficult, I feel, for them to get fluid possessions.
Go ahead.
What did you learn about your team in November that you're going to take forward now into December?
Well, that we have 4 really, really good sophomores, that we have one of the best guards in the country in Sed, and that we have a nice group. Chandre goes in there. He's going to be a really good player. He can shoot. He has a really good pace to his game. He has a good feel. And so I think we have some good depth there and can score in a variety of ways. If we can shoot the ball better than we have been, then we're really going to be able to score in a variety of ways. And to me, that's a really important aspect of our offense.
Kind of piggybacking off that a little bit, I know each individual team has to find its identity. I know you guys are still getting the sophomores developed, and they're developing, coming along, integrating the freshmen in. Has this current team found its identity yet? Or are you guys still working on it?
Well, I think we're still working on it because I think if we had shot poorly Air Force and tonight and had been through 8 games, then we might have to scrap some things and just kind of pound the ball inside. So I think really a little bit has to do with that. How much more can Chandra get on the floor and help us? How well can we shoot the ball? But I do think the one thing I would say is I do think we could be a pretty good defensive team. And tonight's numbers obviously impacted a little bit by their poor shooting, but for the most part, our numbers defensively have been good in every game.
I will ask the question and kind of look ahead, going back on the road, playing William and Mary, team that's scrappy at their place. Early thoughts about that game?
Well, I think Tony's a tremendous coach, and I think they have a very good program. Now they have a tremendous player. I think his preseason player of the year in the conference in some publications. So it's difficult. I haven't been following them that closely yet, but I know they had a big win over VMI, and they're always tough to play and always tough to play at home.
Anything else?
7 blocks, and that's been not typical, but it hasn't been. You blocked a lot of shots.
Yeah.
Why?
Well, first and foremost, Alonzo is a natural shot blocker, and Derek has actually been a good shot blocker in his career. I think that's probably the most important thing. I think Alonzo has a great, Alonzo is one of those guys who can block the other man's shot when he's helping and his own guy's shot. That's really rare. Even as great of a shot blocker as Darius was, he usually blocked the other guy's shot. So I think Alonzo's gifted, and just as he gets more and more experienced and confident, that he's just going to be, he's going to have a night where he has 7 blocks himself.
Could you feel with a younger opponent inside you guys could do some work tonight?
Yeah, we noticed that JMU particularly had a young lineup. Us being much older, Alonzo having more experience on the court, Terry having more experience on the court, as well as the rest of the guys that played in there. We definitely took advantage inside and out with our maturity.
How quickly was it until you guys realized that you also had an athleticism advantage?
Just, from the jump, we showed how aggressive we can be, how physical we can be, and we just wanted that spark just from the jump.
Seemed like they made a strong effort to get you involved more early in the second half. Was that kind of like the game plan going into half?
No, it wasn't really the game plan. Me, myself, I want to attack the game. I have to attack the game, to get everybody else moving, and that's what I did.
Do you guys know that you didn't allow a single three-pointer?
No, we didn't know that. No, we didn't. We didn't know that. With all the communication, we emphasized during practice, communication and, getting out on the three-point shooters, chasing them off the line. That's what we did tonight.
Alonzo, obviously you guys are 6-2 out to a good start. Right. Some have been easier than others in terms of the victories. Have you found your identity for this team, or is that still a work in progress for you guys?
I believe it's still a work in progress. I don't think we played our best basketball. Even though everybody's coming along with Terry, Dion, Trey, and especially Seth and Kendall, and as well as Derek, I think we can be really good here in the next coming games. But, yeah.
And Alonzo, you guys had a lot of great distribution out there. A lot of guys scoring in double figures. Was this just a factor of, the team you're playing wasn't that sound defensively?
I believe so. I mean, definitely it had to do with how the experience that the other team had. But I thought it was great how the scoring was balanced out. And
you had a couple of nice blocks out there.
Yeah, I mean, everybody had nice blocks, especially Derek. I haven't seen that in a while. That was awesome. That chase down block and him blocking a three-pointer. So I thought that was pretty great. And everybody played great defense.
Why was it so easy to I mean, it's like they're lobbing it up. Just, hey, have fun with this.
I mean, I think we give credit to the coaches. They scouted out really well. But I think we brought superb energy in the beginning. And that run really helped us gain energy and allow us to play better defense.
Derek, how important is it when you guys are trying to find that identity here at the beginning of the season to string some wins together and kind of, you've won 3 straight now, if I'm not mistaken. How big is that at this point in the season?
I don't believe we're trying to find our identity per se. We're just focused on each and every game that comes up next on our schedule. We emphasize certain things during practice, and we try to complete them and, operate them during the game.
To kind of piggyback off that, you had won the 2 games, the Fairfield game and the Air Force game on the road. just to continue that momentum after a pretty good game up in Connecticut, and then to come back home and get the big victory the way that you did?
I mean, it's just another reminder that, no matter what the outcome of the game is, we have a next game. And, next play, no matter what happens during the game, and no matter, like I said before, the outcome of the game, we always have another one coming up.
When another team is struggling, like shooting as they were today, can you sense that frustration on the court? Are they saying anything on the court or anything like that?
I mean, we weren't, saying anything on the court. The one thing we emphasized as well was, just pass and move the ball. That's why everybody was allowed to, score in double figures, multiple guys scoring. Just one thing we had to do is just continue to move the ball.
I'm saying when the other team is struggling shooting, can you sense that defensively that they're getting frustrated when they're?
Oh, I mean, yeah, you can sense it because obviously the shots aren't going in. But, as long as we keep, defensively keep our pressure up, be fine.
Alonzo, how has the development been for you from your freshman to your sophomore year? How much more comfortable do you feel in the system now?
I feel a lot more comfortable. I think that's what our system's all about. It takes a lot to get comfortable in our system, and you can see that from the freshman to sophomore year especially. I think that's the biggest step. Yeah.
How about defensively? You came here as a good defensive player, and you keep progressing. Is that learning where to be in that matchup and how to come over and get shots other guys are taking?
Right. I mean, in high school, I blocked a lot of shots, and last year as well. But my coach has been trying to emphasize me not being such a shot blocker, but being a better defender. And those are two separate things. So I've been trying to work on being a better defender, communicating more with the team, and being in the right spots instead of just being a shot blocker.
So far, so good. You feel like you've made some steps in that area?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Hey, Derek, how about when you work against him in practice, can you speak to his ability as a shot blocker and shot influencer?
Yes, his length is definitely his length and his quickness is definitely a positive for him. He's the fastest big man I know in the country. He definitely makes up with it with his length. He's able to guard on the perimeter as well as down low.
Do you guys have any friendly wagers on blocks for the season or anything like that? Or
No,
sticking to the
no. We just try to push each other each and every day. More times than not, me and Alonzo are basically going head to head with each other in practice when we're on opposite teams, and we just try to push one another.
Could you have run the court like that a couple weeks ago?
Oh, yes.
I mean, I'm just saying physically. I know you had some issues.
Oh, yes. Physically, I feel fine. Mentally, I feel fine. Emotionally, I feel fine. Everything is good.